Welcome to Rise and Conquer US UK, your daily source of unstoppable motivation. Here, we build discipline, courage, and focus so you can rise higher and conquer your dreams. Everything begins in the mind. Before a dream is born, before a goal is achieved, before a single action is taken, it starts with a thought. And that's why your greatest weapon is not your body, not your bank account, not even your time. It's your mind. Because whatever you feed your mind, you can't build a peaceful life with a chaotic mind. You can't rise with thoughts that keep pulling you down. You can't move forward while replaying what's behind you. Your mind is either your greatest ally or your greatest enemy. It's either training you or tricking you, building you or breaking you. The question is, who's really in control? Most people live their entire life as prisoners of their own mind. They don't even realize it. They wake up and their thoughts immediately take over. Regret from yesterday, fear about tomorrow, comparison, noise, self-doubt. They let their mind drag them through storms that don't even exist yet. But here's the truth. You are not your thoughts. You are the one who chooses them. And the moment you understand that, you unlock freedom. Your mind is powerful, but it's also lazy. It wants comfort. It wants control. It wants to keep you safe. Even if that means keeping you stuck. That's why it resists change. That's why it tells you, don't try. That's why it whispers you'll fail anyway. It's not the truth. It's your fear disguised as logic. And if you keep believing those lies, you'll never meet your potential. You'll keep living small, even when you were built for more. You can't stop thoughts from showing up, but you can stop feeding them. You can't control what appears in your mind, but you can control what stays. When a negative thought enters, don't wrestle with it. Replace it. Replace I can't with I'm learning. Replace I'm not enough with I'm still growing. Replace what if I fail with what if I rise. Because your brain believes what you tell it most often. Feed it fear, it'll freeze. Feed it faith, it'll fight. Mind control isn't about force, it's about focus. It's not about thinking less, it's about thinking better. Your thoughts are energy, and energy flows where attention goes. If you keep feeding negativity, you'll keep finding reasons to stay small. But if you start focusing on growth, you'll start seeing opportunities everywhere. Your mind will always look for proof to support your dominant thoughts. So give it something powerful to prove. The strongest people aren't the ones who never feel fear. They're the ones who mastered their inner dialogue. They hear the same doubts, but they don't obey them. They feel the same fear, but they act anyway. They've learned that discipline is louder than emotion, that calm is stronger than chaos, that silence is power. They don't chase control, they create it from within. You have to train your mind like a muscle. If you don't train it, it controls you. You don't get strong by thinking, you get strong by practicing. Every time you resist overthinking, you're training focus. Every time you respond calmly instead of reacting emotionally, you're training peace. Every time you stay consistent, even when it's hard, you're training discipline. You are rewiring your brain every day. The question is, in which direction? Your mind believes what it hears the most. So start speaking differently to yourself. Stop calling yourself lazy, call yourself learning. Stop saying I always fail. Say I always try again. Stop saying I'm not enough. Say I'm improving. Words are commands to the subconscious mind. Speak doubt, you strengthen fear. Speak strength, you summon faith. You can't control the world, but you can control the voice inside your head. And that's where real power begins. There's a reason peace feels rare. Because most people never silence their mind. They're addicted to noise. They scroll, they overthink, they compare. Anything to avoid being alone with their thoughts. But silence isn't empty, it's full of answers. That's where focus grows. That's where vision becomes clear. That's where peace lives. If you want to control your mind, you have to learn to be still. Because stillness isn't weakness, it's strength. The calmest person in the room always has the most control. Your mind is like water. It becomes whatever you pour into it. If you pour chaos, it'll drown you. If you pour calm, it'll reflect clarity. So protect what flows in. Be careful what you watch, what you listen to, what you repeat. Because every thought you allow is a seed, and every seed grows. Ask yourself every day, is this thought feeding my peace or stealing it? And if it's stealing it, let it go. You don't need to fix every thought. You just need to stop believing the wrong ones. When your mind tells you you're not ready, thank it for trying to protect you, then move anyway. When it tells you it's too late, remind it that growth doesn't have an expiration date. When it tells you it's impossible, remind it that impossible is just a word used by those who gave up too soon. The mind is powerful, but it's also obedient. If you feed it peace, it gives you peace. If you feed it panic, it gives you chaos. So the question is, what are you training it to serve? Your fear or your faith? Your excuses or your purpose? You get to decide every day. And that decision will shape everything. When you learn to control your mind, you unlock the ability to control your life. You stop overreacting. You stop doubting. You stop rushing. You become intentional, focused, unbothered, because your mind is no longer a battlefield. It's a weapon, a quiet, steady, powerful weapon. And that's how peace wins. Not through noise, but through control. Remember this, your thoughts create your feelings create your actions, and your actions create your reality. So if you want to change your life, start by changing your thoughts. Not all at once, not perfectly, just one thought at a time. Choose gratitude over fear, discipline over doubt, focus over chaos. And slowly, your entire reality will shift. You can't control everything that happens to you, but you can always control how you respond. And that choice, that single moment between reaction and response, is where your power lives. That's where your peace begins. Because the goal isn't to control life. The goal is to control yourself in every season, in every storm, in every moment. When you do that, you don't just survive, you master. Master your mind, shape your peace, lead your life, and as always, rise and conquer. Real strength isn't loud. It isn't flashy. It doesn't scream to be seen. Real strength is calm. It's the quiet energy that doesn't need to prove anything because it already knows. That's mental discipline. The ability to stay centered when everything around you is falling apart. The ability to breathe when others panic. To respond instead of react. To keep your peace while the world loses theirs. That's calm power, and it's built, not born. Everyone talks about mindset, but few understand mental strength. It's not just about thinking positive. It's about training your mind to stay still when life gets stormy. Because storms will come. People will test you. Life will press you. And in those moments, you'll realize your power is not in control over others, but in control over yourself. When you master calm, you stop being manipulated by chaos. When you master peace, you stop being controlled by pressure. Because no one can shake you. When you've built your peace from within, you don't rise by reacting. You rise by responding. You don't grow by fighting every storm. You grow by standing still inside one. The strongest people aren't the ones who always win. They're the ones who stay composed when they lose. They don't fall apart when things go wrong. They adjust. They don't let anger drive them. They let awareness lead them. They know that control isn't about power over others. It's about peace over yourself. That's what real mastery looks like. Your mind will always test your discipline. It'll tell you to quit, to complain, to react, to rush. And every time you say no to that impulse, you grow stronger. That's the game. That's the training. Every situation you face is a test of your emotional control. When someone disrespects you, can you stay calm? When plans fail, can you adapt without breaking down? When you feel fear, can you move forward anyway? That's mental strength. That's calm power. It's not about avoiding emotion. It's about understanding it. When you feel anger, pause. When you feel fear, breathe. When you feel doubt, question it. You can't control feelings, but you can control your focus. And where focus goes, energy flows. So stop feeding your frustration, feed your focus. Stop overthinking the problem, strengthen your perspective. Because every thought is a choice, and every choice builds your peace or breaks it. Most people lose their peace because they let emotion lead. They react instantly. They let anger speak, fear guide, and ego decide. But emotion is temporary. Discipline is forever. Calm people win because they play the long game. They don't rush decisions. They don't beg for validation. They don't panic in pain. They understand that emotion is data, not direction. They feel it. They face it. Then they move with reason, not reaction. Mental strength is also about letting go. Letting go of what you can't control. Letting go of what you can't fix. Letting go of needing everything to be perfect. Because perfection is pressure, peace is power. You don't need everything to go right to be okay. You just need to stay right within yourself. You can lose the job and keep your peace. You can lose people and keep your purpose. You can lose control and still remain calm. That's mastery. That's maturity. That's power. The mind is like fire, it can destroy you or drive you. If you don't control it, it burns everything around you. If you learn to guide it, it becomes your warmth, your light, your fuel. That's why calm is so rare, because it requires strength. It's easy to yell, easy to complain, easy to panic, but it takes discipline to stay grounded. Calm is not weakness. Calm is command. Because when you stay calm under pressure, you stay powerful under chaos. Sometimes, silence is the loudest reply. Sometimes, patience is the strongest move. Sometimes, peace is the ultimate revenge. You don't have to prove your worth. Just protect your energy. Because your energy is your empire, and you can't build it while letting chaos live rent-free in your mind. Stop giving away your peace to things that don't matter. Stop wasting energy explaining your vision to people who never see it. Stop letting emotions control decisions that discipline should make. You can't lead your life from emotion. You lead it from control. Mental strength doesn't mean you feel nothing. It means you feel everything and still choose peace. You cry, but you continue. You fall, but you rise. You get tired, but you don't quit. You hold yourself steady when your world shakes. You remain grounded when your heart breaks. You move forward when your mind screams to stop. That's not numbness. That's power. Calm is your advantage. When everyone else panics, you observe. When others react, you reflect. When others rush, you breathe. Because clarity doesn't live in chaos, it lives in calm. The one who controls their mind controls their direction. And when you have direction, you can't be destroyed. You don't build mental strength overnight. You build it in moments. Tiny choices that train your calm. When you don't send that angry message, when you don't argue to prove a point, when you walk away from drama instead of diving in, that's how you grow quietly. That's how you build power consistently. Every time you choose peace over reaction, you evolve. Don't chase control. Create control. Create it by managing your focus. Create it by mastering your habits. Create it by training your calm every single day. That's the secret no one talks about. Your external world is a mirror of your internal one. If your mind is chaos, your life will be chaos. If your mind is peace, your life will be peace. Everything begins within. You can't stop storms, but you can learn to stand still in the rain. You can't stop emotions, but you can choose not to drown in them. You can't stop thoughts, but you can decide which ones you feed. That's control. That's freedom. Because the more control you have inside, the less control the world has over you. So breathe, step back, observe. You don't have to react to everything that disturbs your peace. You don't have to fight every battle to win the war. Sometimes victory is in silence. Sometimes power is in patience. Sometimes strength is in staying still. You don't need to prove calm. You just need to practice it. Because when you can stay calm in chaos, you've already conquered it. Stay calm, stay grounded, stay powerful. And as always, rise and conquer. The most powerful person in any room is the calm one. Not the loudest, not the strongest, not the richest, the calm one. Because calm is control, And control is power. You can't fake it. You can't buy it. You have to build it through discipline, through patience, through awareness. An unshakable mind isn't built overnight. It's built in the moments when chaos comes and you choose peace anyway. Peace is not the absence of problems. It's the presence of power. It's knowing that life will test you, but you won't lose yourself in the test. It's standing in the middle of noise and still hearing your own thoughts clearly. It's being surrounded by doubt, but still trusting your vision. That's what makes you untouchable. Not perfection, but control. When you master your mind, you master your energy. And when you master your energy, you master your world. Because everything outside you is a reflection of what's inside you. If your mind is chaotic, your world will always feel heavy. If your mind is calm, you'll find peace even in the storm. That's the real goal. Not a life without pressure, but a life where pressure can't break you. The next time life gets heavy, don't rush to fix it. Don't react. Don't panic. Pause, breathe, observe. Remember, you don't need to control everything. You just need to control yourself. Because peace isn't about getting rid of storms. It's about learning to stand still in the rain. When you can do that, you've already won. A peaceful mind is not weak. It's trained. Trained to stay steady when everything shakes. Trained to find clarity in confusion. Trained to move with patience, not panic. That's the true sign of mastery. Not speed, but stillness. Not reaction, but reason. Not chaos, but calm. So protect your peace, protect your mind, protect your focus. Because your mind is your empire, and when it's calm, everything around it aligns. You don't need to control the world. You just need to control the voice inside your head. And once you do, you become unshakable. Calm is not the end of strength. Calm is strength. Peace is not the end of power. Peace is power. Be still. Be aware. Be powerful. And as always, rise and conquer. This was your daily dose of motivation from Rise and Conquer US UK. Remember, your time is now. Stand tall, stay disciplined, and rise and conquer. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for tomorrow's motivation.